Hello, welcome to today's segment of AI Playbook, where pretty much the goal is to find ways to explain how you can begin your career as a beginner. Now, this information is for anybody who is aspiring to start a career in tech. And pretty much we're going to be looking at some couple of things that can actually get you started at any point in time. So, what is AI Playbook? AI Playbook is a weekly um, talk where I get to explain how you can navigate your way into the world of AI technologies. And pretty much you can look up some of the previous editions on YouTube so that you can catch up and being able to understand what's going on. Now, every week we build on conversation, and for whatever reason, if you can't catch up with any segment that we're talking about, you can always reference the previous conversation. All right. So, couple of things that we'll be discussing today. We'll look at mastering how to master the prerequisites in order for you to master the AI technology. So, we'll look at all the things that you need, followed by the top specialist skills that you can get. So, sometimes you may want to narrow down some of these things and just pick one. So, we're going to be looking at that as well. And finally, the third point we're going to be looking at in order to learn this is the essential tools and packages that you need. So pretty much let's dive into it. As you may know already, when it comes to learning artificial intelligence, it can be exciting endeavor, and at the same time, if you don't have the right guidance, it can be very challenging. Even when you have guidance, it can be really, really challenging. So pretty much having a guide like this will help you navigate and even save more time rather than having to do things or make mistakes that you're not supposed to make with the right information. All right. So, well, this again, to join the AI Playbook community, you can just scan the barcode or check the link in the descriptions and try as much as you can to follow us. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the like button so that you can hit the bell button so that you can be notified every time we release a new update. So let's look at the first point. Yeah. So the first point here says master the prerequisites, which is the skills that you need to have in order for you to even commence in this field of artificial intelligence. Part of it is the AI fundamental skills, because at the end of the day, every subject has its fundamentals. The bottom line is what are the things that you need to learn as the fundamentals of artificial intelligence to be able to really make sense out of it. So I have a couple of points that you can actually note, right? I broke them into some segments. Remember, we're talking about the three aspects, the prerequisite skills. And we're also going to be looking at how you can double down, how you can specialize in one skill. And finally, we're also going to be looking at ways that you can use the tools and also some of the packages available for you as an AI engineer. All right, so pretty much let's look at the first point here. Basic mathematics. I know that yes, majority of us don't like mathematics, especially when you're done with school. Or just this mindset that you should be done with maths. But in real sense, whether we like it or not, we interact with maths all the time, right? Either trying to calculate our funds or trying to add one number on the other. Math is as essential as English language, which we use to communicate, or any other language that we use to communicate. Because at the end of the day, what the machine really understands are numbers, not even words that we speak. So understanding some of these basic principle is one thing you can run away from. And some of the things you would have to understand are linear algebra, calculus, and probably probability. They are also essential things that you may want to pick up. Now the thing is, you may not really dig this thing down so much, right? But what we're talking about here are the basics. At least understand how some of these things work. So when you do understand and you see some of these algorithm or processes, you'll be able to really relate what is going on. So take for instance, you want to calculate interest rates, or you want to calculate percentage of a particular number, or instead of people completed assessment and you want to check the average score. So all of these things are things that they're just basic mathematics, but at the end of the day, it is very crucial when it comes to writing all of this model. Another skill that is very, very essential will be basic statistics. Yeah, so you've heard all of these things before, but in real sense, and let's just be clear here. You can't run away from this and you think that you want to be good with artificial intelligence. No, you have to be very, very you have to know how all of these things work. Concepts like statistics, significance, distribution, regression, and likelihood play a significant role in different type of AI applications. So when you look at all of these things, there are things that, especially when we are in junior schools, we more or less look as if those things are just being taught just like that. We oftentimes don't see the significance of some of those things, but when you really want to dive deeper into the space of artificial intelligence, then AI is, all of these statistics model will really help a lot. So, pretty much, let's also look at further things that we have that you need to learn. We have a willingness to learn. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, you have to be willing to learn. You have to have that proactive mindset, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to push you to learn because you're probably trying to learn something new. So nobody will be pushing you to learn. So you have to be the one in charge. You have to be the one that is really pushing yourself to be able to achieve some of those things. So whether we like it or not, that proactiveness and the crave for new technology is what is really going to determine whether we are going to be good with this skill or not. So, and we need to be honest with ourselves. Nobody's really going to force you to learn this thing. The reason why most people don't even know about these technology skills is because nobody's forcing them to learn it, and nobody's going to force you to learn it. So, it has to be something that you settle down with and you agree within yourself that you want to pursue. And the moment you start chasing it, just know that you're on your own. And the kind of circle of people that you surround yourself with, it really determines how fast you can run and how better you can get things done. So pretty much, I am not going to force you to further on this skill. So you need to do that and find a way that you can enjoy yourself with it. So let's just take a look at this excerpt here. So it is important to know that the depth of understanding, the mastering required in these prerequisite areas can vary, and things that is required can vary. So it all depends on the aspect of the artificial intelligence that you want to double on. So it's not compulsory that you know all the basics, like everything, but there are some areas that if you want to venture into, that you would have to cover. So you pretty much need to understand those kind of dynamics. So now let's break it down. So we have spoken about some skill sets that are available, but let's talk about how you can be a specialist in one. So because at the end of the day, you can't really have all of these skills at once. You need to clinch these skills one after the other, and by so doing, you can gather the mindset and the resources that you need in order to forge ahead in your learning process. So we've spoken about the AI fundamentals, which are the backbone of AI. But at the end of the day, you also need to double down on one. And one of those will be statistics that we mentioned earlier. So, you could just be somebody who focuses on statistics, just understand. And when we talk about statistics, we talk about they are left with the possibility to collect, organize, analyze, interpret, and present data. So you could be part of the artificial intelligence team that has the skill set to be able to collect, organize, analyze, interpret, and also present data in whatever form that is required. Another specialization, you can be a mathematician, and at that point you could double down on linear algebra, calculus, probability. You could double down on all of those things, and when you look at it very well, there are things that are, you could even major on. And when we have some of these formulas that we use, oftentimes people do come up with these formulas. So you can be one of those people that get to do research and come up with solutions that can then help us to create new technology. And one thing I must say is that when I mention all of these things, it is important that you note them down somewhere. Like, just note them down and just try to really analyze which is best and where to start, and just pick any one of them and just run them through. Another skill set you can specialize on is programming. This is one that everybody wants to have. So when it comes to implementing AI, it's important that we understand that it's require solid knowledge of programming because it allow you write codes. You can develop AI algorithm, manipulate data, and even use AI tools and libraries. So programming, you can double down on programming. And when we talk about programming right now, for artificial intelligence, one of the most important one that people really get to use a lot is Python. Python and R are the widely adopted AI programming language as of now. So one of the reasons why those programming language are very common is because they are easy to use, they are versatile. You could just read the syntax, you could look at it as if more like you're reading English language. So the community actually support them, and you can start from there. You can learn some of the data structure. You can learn how to manipulate data with Python as well. All right. So another specialist role is data structures. So there are also people that their job is data structure engineer. So what they pretty much do, retrieve, and they also find ways to manipulate data as well. So the knowledge of data structure, like array, trees, lists, and queries, they are very essential when it comes to writing efficient code and developing complex AI algorithm. So some people's role is to ensure that data are structured in a certain way so that at the end of the day, they find ways to more or less use some of this data to train the algorithm, and also at the end of the day ship this same algorithm to users where they can then further learn about the effectiveness of the application. All right. So another specialization here is called data manipulation, and this involves actually transforming, manipulating data, to prepare it for further analysis. So when you look at this, it's also a way to use your skill set, like in terms of libraries like pandas, for data manipulation. So you could um, move things around. You could move data around. When it comes to manipulations, you could more or less just alter either live or static data in whatever instances that is required. So there are people that their job is actually to manipulate data. Now, in manipulating data, there are a lot of complexity. Some may be in real time, some may be some may be offline, some may be that you have to download the data somewhere, do some manipulation before shipping it back to production. All right. So another skill set is data science. We also know this very well. When we look at data science, they are very much in charge of writing algorithm. They understand machine learning as well. So one of their role is discovering hidden pattern from raw data. And you can look at a data scientist as somebody who more or less just writes models that can predict. The right algorithm that can predict a particular thing. Example I give all the time could be: imagine I want to predict how much a house is going to be in Ikoyi, Lagos at a particular given time. So data scientists can then gather the data and make prediction and say, look, in the next 20 years or thereabouts, houses will be so amount in so region based on all of these data points that we are able to analyze. And pretty much, yes, the prediction may come true, it may not come true, but the quality of the data that is used to train that model will determine whether it's going to be true or not. So pretty much, data scientists find ways to write all of these algorithm to be able to manipulate and create effective products. All right. We also have machine learning engineers. So these guys as well find a way to do wonderful things. So when you hear the term machine learning is actually a subset of artificial intelligence, and so this guy's job is to more or less build a system or an application that can perform or learn from its data to perform even more efficiently. So, take for instance, I build a particular model, a machine learning expert will find a way to use some of these technologies to learn from existing data. And when this learning happens, the application gets to learn, and when the application learn, then the performances of such system gets to improve. So you can see that as another level of learning, or level of skill set that you can navigate on. An example could be an online prediction, or let's say on the streaming sites, it could be that there's a platform that, or there's a part of the app that recommends movie, right? So the job of a machine learning expert for this scenario will be that they get to learn from existing data to improve the algorithm in real time, right? While the data scientists would have worked together with the machine learning expert in the first place to build a model, right? It is the job of machine learning engineers to ensure that the system consistently learn, and not just that, improve the performance and efficiency of the product that is in deployment. So all of those things are skills that you can actually look up to. Okay, so we then have deep learning. Now, deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Remember, I said machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So, while all of these terms may not sound very, very, very palatable to us at this point, but we just need to know that those things exist. And the reason why I said sometimes you just need to note them down and try to comprehend on them later on. So when it comes to writing models that understand complex pattern in a database, you're actually going to be considering deep learning, because actually it works behind the scenes, and you would see it in most advanced AI application today, from voice assistants to self-driving cars. So when it comes to all of those things that we see, actually deep learning is playing a very huge role behind the scene. Now, a good way to start is to gain the foundation skills in any of the areas, or in all of the areas as you can. Just try to explore the ones that you think interest you the more. Just try your best to see how you can then move on in any of those fields. All right. So this is AI Playbook once again. All right. So check the link on the screen, and you can scan it. Also, you can check the description for the link as well. All you need to do is to follow us on all the platforms that have been listed, right? You can actually also follow me too on LinkedIn. And my name is Noah Latoye there as well, so that you can get updates at all times. So now let's look at the final point for today, which is learn the essential AI tools and packages. Now, the truth is that majority of the AI applications that you see out there use libraries, use packages. The global world, I mean, the world right now has really grown, and there are people who have done fantastic work. And some of those work are things that is expected to be shared among others. So sometimes there are certain things that you don't need to build by yourself, because the industry have done that for you. And that's why the reason you will also see along the way, when you start learning, you start chunking out free things as well. So the industry is really meant to offer free and premium things as well. But there are lots of tools that you can use that are free, and there are also some that are premium as well. But along the way, you discover some of these tools, in order to spend, or in order not to spend days, months trying to fix a particular problem. There may be library out there that can help you get it sorted. Now, that doesn't mean all the time you use some of these libraries, especially if you are concerned with some certain functionality, either by you're concerned with speed, either you're concerned with security. Sometimes you may have to build some of these things by yourself. But regardless, these tools are there for you to play with. Okay, so some of those tools, right? You can find them in Python, and you can find them in R. The AI community is really there working and trying to make sure that some of these things are very available. Yeah, so the first, you would find some of the tools available, especially in Python. You find pandas. With pandas, you can perform some task that in real sense, you have to write some long code before that can be done. You also have NumPy, you have scikit-learn, you have PyCaret, right? You have PyTorch, you have Keras as well. All of these tools are really available for you to use. So, try them out. Just Google them and see whether you find information that'll be really helpful. So there are also other tools that you can use. There are commercially available APIs. Take for instance, usually what we do is every time we want to search for something, we oftentimes go to platform like ChatGPT, which sometimes is good, but on the commercial level. Imagine you want to introduce AI into an existing product. You want to make people to be able to search for certain things on your web application, either on an e-commerce site or anywhere at all. What you will do basically is communicate with some of these commercial APIs to be able to perform such task in your application. So imagine if somebody could chat with OpenAI on your application to do one or two things. So it could be that you want the person to be able to create some descriptions without having to type it by themselves. You can use some of these commercial APIs to run those things, and before you know, your application becomes smart. All right, so let's move on. And at this point, today's session is very, very brief. And you can leave your question in the comments segment. And you can also click on the link to give feedback so that you can ask me a direct question. And I will be willing to help you do that. So, sneak peek, we're having our AI workshop tomorrow, and it starts tomorrow. And you can still enroll for this. You can just visit ai.instincthub.com to enroll for the AI practical workshop. And don't forget, you can join this community. All you need to do is find ways to just click on the link or scan the barcode to join the community. We have WhatsApp group, we have Discord, we have so many other things that you can see just when you join the link. All right, so next week we'll be discussing what we call AI learning plan. So after we've spoken about all these things that we have, the question is, how do you then plan something for yourself? How do you plan your career path in learning artificial intelligence? So we're going to be looking at how you can have a monthly, weekly plan for yourself, and I'll be happy to show you all of that. So that's how we wrap it up on today's segment. If you like this session, please leave a comment, and not just that, not just leaving a comment, just try as much as you can to also give us recommendation, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit on the bell icon so that you can be notified every time we release a new update. Until next time, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one.